Three Ropes Wrestling was born in a small New York apartment over a few beers and the WWF SummerSlam 1991. What began as a late-night conversation about side hustles slowly turned into something far more reckless: the idea of starting a professional wrestling promotion. One of the three friends worked building operations and event security for small arenas and armories around the tri-state area. It didn't look glamorous, it looked fragile, but it made a few bucks. They weren't chasing the WWF. They believed they could survive in the cracks of the business and carve out a few bucks away from the limelight. So the three pooled their money together and, as Ted Turner would say, got into the wrestling business. With no real experience running a promotion, the three remained silent partners. Instead, they handed control to an unproven 25-year-old road agent named David Marquez. For Marquez, it was his first chance to build something: a roster, a culture, and an identity from the ground up. And in a business where opportunities are rare and second chances are even rarer, this one had to matter. Because in professional wrestling, you rarely know if your first shot is also your last. This is the story of Three Ropes Wrestling. Welcome everyone to the first video on this channel and the first episode of the namesake promotion, Three Ropes Wrestling. We have $25,026 in the bank account. We are an insignificant sized company and we are ranked 52nd in the world. Zero prestige, zero momentum, as you see. What an introduction. We mean a whole bunch of things to nobody. We have got to get out of the cellar, and we have got to get some guys over, and most importantly, get our wrestling promotion over. It is the namesake of this channel. So this is a company that, yeah, we are going to be doing other save games on this channel, but I would like to keep this specific promotion around as long as we can. So we are going to spend some time at this. We are, again, ranked 0 in size. If you want to see, we are 0 all the way across the board. The next size is tiny. We have to get to a 17. So it's going to be a while. Now, without anything further, let's look at the roster. And first up, we have Ace Steel. Ace Steel, basically, this guy, he went on later to train a bunch of people that we know now. CM Punk, one of them. He debuts in October of '91, so he is, by all accounts, a rookie this year. So this, he's only a couple months in the business. He's a high flyer, good fundamentals that you can see right there, and in need of experience, basically. I mean, like I said, he's only a couple months into the business. Now, as far as Three Ropes Wrestling is concerned, we're going to have a lot of people that are a few months in or just cutting their teeth into the business. Ace, because of his star quality here, because he's pretty fundamental and physically gifted there, yeah, he could use a lot of work over here, but at, what are we paying him? $20 a show. Everybody's $20 a show, I believe, except for one or two guys, but he's $20 a show. Ace Steel is going to be somebody that is going to mean something to our promotion in the long term, storyline wise, things like that. He will be he'll get his chance. Let's just say that. All right, moving on. Axel Rotten. Rotten is a 4-year veteran at this point. He has been working heel for a lot of different companies. NWL is the other company in this save game that he is going to be working with. Regional wrestler. He's got a growing reputation, Axel Rotten does. He's good at a few things. He's good at brawling. He's good at hardcore. He's got a decent stamina right now. And his toughness, of course, we've seen him in ECW in later years. But even now, his toughness is pretty solid. So, happy with Axel Rotten here. He's not the Axel Rotten that everybody knows yet. But he's just a punk, basically, coming into the wrestling company and just kind of trying to disrupt things. He will be playing a heel in Three Ropes Wrestling. All right, moving on. We have the Black Dragon, about 1 or 2 years in terms of the experience level for the Dragon. Wrestles mainly regional shows in Ontario, Canada, but that is near the tri-state area, so we're not going to have to pay as much. I think it's $20 travel for connecting and $50 for without connecting. So he's a connecting region to the tri-state area, a spillover region, if you will. So we'll only have to pay $20 extra for his travel, but he's good. He's one of our most talented wrestlers. Really good fundamentals, really good physical skills. His power is not as strong, but it doesn't really need to be. He is a high flyer, so his strength won't come really into that into mattering as much. But he does have good primary and mental skills as well. As you see, technical, aerial, and flashiness all there. He has got a okay charisma, an okay microphone, and everything right there is pretty good across the board. He's got a high ceiling as well. You see the charisma and the microphone up there. You see a couple hundreds over here. So the Black Dragon could be very good. He's only 19 years old, and you will see a lot of our wrestlers are young here. So we're getting him on the cheap because literally any show that we run, we will gain popularity right now because we have no popularity whatsoever. All right, moving on. We got Bobby Knight, 24 years old. He is a rookie. And Knight, at this stage in the game, is a regional worker. He has worked enhancement for the AWA and for WCW, but he is in his rookie year. So he's already been some places, but he hasn't been a lot of places because he hasn't been in the business all that much. But he is decently talented, fundamental and physicals. He's got okay fundamentals. He really needs to work on his primary skills. As you see, a 17 with a potential of 62 on his brawling even. And then we've got a couple of zeros down here. So yeah, I'm willing to look the other way and willing to let him cut his teeth here in Three Ropes Wrestling, but he does need to improve over the year in order to hang. Because as you see, the 0 is the 3, the 7 for technical, is going to get in his way. Now, the good thing for him is that he does have some charisma, does have some microphone, and does have some acting, as well as star quality. So he will be okay. And the other good thing for him is that he is one half of the Harlem Knights with his partner Mabel. So he doesn't have to be the whole show or the whole attraction. He just has to be a solid fundamental worker. He's got to, again, improve this up here, and he will be a pretty formidable member of the roster here. So moving on. Now we got Chaz Taylor. Taylor is the son of Tugboat Taylor. So he's got already a decent reputation, and he's already working on his psychology skills, and all of his other skills are pretty high for a 20-year-old. His dad obviously teaching him. Chaz has a good look, good fundamental, and he really just kind of needs to improve, kind of like we just said about Bobby Knight. He needs to improve some of his game. However, Chaz is a little better than Bobby Knight. He's got some things to hold his hat on: the technical, the aerial, the flashiness, all okay. But his microphone is terrible. He cannot talk right now. He needs to work on that. And, maybe we'll get him out there to bomb a couple segments, but when we can afford it. But he won't be really working on his microphone skills a lot. He's a flashy wrestler. He's a popular wrestler with the ladies. He's 3 years in, and I do see some good things for Chaz here in Three Ropes Wrestling. Now, David Marquez, that is us, so we will move on from there. That is just who we're using. He is the current co-owner, we'll say, and booker of Three Ropes Wrestling. All right, moving on. We've got Devin Storm. Storm's honestly one of our best wrestlers, and he's still in his rookie season, so his ceiling is very high right now at the moment. His fundamentals look good. His primary is looking above average for someone with limited experience in the ring, so we like Devin Storm here, and he is only incredibly 17 years old. So we've got these guys on a real early basis, some of them just stepping into the ring, but some of them already good with their skills here. So I'm really happy to see that. Devin Storm's probably got the highest, the second, the third highest, one of the top 3 highest potentials in our company right now. So we do like Devin Storm. All right, now Jimmy Giannetti. Jimmy is a 2-year pro who is billed as a technician. He does have good fundamental work. He does have good technical work. His psychology, his brawling is pretty good. He's 2 years into the business. So yeah, he has good fundamentals. Primary skills need to grow, but they should, with more experience, with more reps, with more years in the business. Again, a sub 20-year-older. He's 19. 2 years of experience. He's already ranked 430 in the world. So Giannetti will be used pretty well in our company, I think. I think he has a pretty good future. We will not be using Rock and Rebel for obvious reasons. But Jimmy Giannetti is someone that we are definitely going to have in the company. He also plays heel, so we'll be fine there. All right, moving on. The Kodiak Bear. Bear is a rookie, and he has good fundamental skills. He needs to work on his stamina a little bit, but his primary abilities are in need of improvement. Or I guess, should I just say experience? A lot of these guys, like a lot of guys are 17, 18, 19 years old. Kodiak's 20. He's still very young in the business. He's old for our company, I guess, which is kind of crazy, but he is young for the wrestling business, so his fundamental and his physical is going to help him out quite a bit. He's already pretty far away, or pretty far along, should I say. The microphone, the charisma, doing well. The star quality will, I think, improve as he improves his segments. He becomes more popular. He reaches for the brass ring, as they like to say in the business. So Kodiak Bear will be okay. 6'2", 351 pounds. He is not going to be somebody that we can really take lightly here. He'll be a force here in three ropes wrestling. All right, now Lance Storm is our best pure worker. He is costing us $50 a night, but he is a very solid worker who I'm hoping can help other guys. I'm hoping can help me road agent some of the show, but also just getting in the ring with these guys, giving them the experience and showing them in the ring just how to do things, how to work the crowd, just reps and things with experienced veterans, or in this case, just a superbly skilled guy, as Lance Storm is, will help the rest of our roster and whoever takes him on, win or loss. So he's worth the $50 because he goes out and helps himself, the company, and the other worker all at the same time. So we're going to pay that. He is only 1 year into the business, 5'11", 236 pounds. He is a technician, and like I said, the technical, the aerial skills are a little higher than I thought they would be, the aerial skills. The psychology and flashiness there, but the dude can work. Let's just say that. That's as straight as it is. The dude can work. All right, moving on, we have got the other half of the Harlem Knights alongside Bobby Knight. This is 24-year-old Mabel. He is 1 year in. Nelson Frazier, his real name, has okay fundamentals, but needs to work majorly on his primary ability. Look, he's been in the business for a year. These zeros, I'm not expecting him to be a puro or a tech or an aerial, but I mean, his brawling has got to be a little higher than 13 for me here. I want him to have experienced a little bit more. I do understand that he is in a tag team. I do understand that that is going to limit his ability to develop because he's in the ring half the amount of time. However, he is somebody that we need to get better here. So we're going to give him the ball to run with. We're going to let him get tackled. But at the same time, 6'10", 339 pounds, that is a very dominant man who can play tough roles for us. That is a anchor to a tag team, and that's what he is. He is the skill, I think, in the tag team with him and Bobby Knight. So Mabel, we're gonna have to get ready because he could be very big for us in a singles role, or he could anchor a tag team championship run from the Harlem Knights, or just be nobody. It's up to him. All right, moving on. Mean Mark Mest, an 18-year-old indie wrestler, 6 foot, 399 pounds, and he looks all of 399. Mest has got power. He has got toughness. His stamina is going to be complete trash because he is 399 pounds, because that is not muscle. He is obese. He is a brawler, but he can move around the ring decently, okay? His aerial is 0 in this game, but he was able to move that girth around quite a bit. He is going to be one half of the Intimidators alongside his kayfabe brother, Troy Mest. But, you know, his stamina is obviously a wreck because of his obesity. It does have a negative impact on his ability to perform. However, he's just supposed to be a monster. He's just supposed to look intimidating. He's supposed to get in there and overpower the opponent and stay on his feet. He's not supposed to leave his feet because he's a big dude. Kind of like what Yokozuna was in the WWF. Only Mest is not as big, almost. But he's going to play just a big brawler type as opposed to really leaning in on his weight. However, he's going to work like that and use his weight to his ability, obviously. We're not going to put it at the forefront all the time. All right, moving on. We have got Max Muscle. And Max Muscle, he appeared in WCW, but not till after our timeline here. Max here is still a muscular brute who really does look intimidating. He's got the power. He's got the toughness. Toughness is okay. Toughness could go up quite a bit. His microphone is not solid. We would probably get a manager for Max. His star quality is okay. His sex appeal is okay. His menace is okay. We won't really need him for his sex appeal. He's going to look deranged, so it'll be okay. January 92 graduate. This year, or this month, should I say, he graduated from the power plant. So he is straight out of WCW's power plant, and we will get him here. That's pretty much what it is. He needs to work. He needs to get experience, and these hopefully will go up as these continue to go up. And we'll work on the performance. But Max could be big if we can harness all that potential and get it to line up. He could be a very intimidating force in this company, and he can even play babyface if he wants. So we're gonna see what he plays, heel or face, because he's kind of a tweener. We can put him both places, but he's got a bright future here if he can develop all of this. All right, now moving on, we have got referee Pee Wee Moore. He is the youngest person in our company. He is 16 years old. However, his refereeing is at a 48 right now. He's got a 93 potential. He's got potential to grow with our company and become one of the best referees in the business, and we hope that he will do that under a 3 Ropes Wrestling banner. Well, why does it matter so much? It matters because the referee helps out every single match on the card, so he can help out significantly by being a good official in a match with two subpar wrestlers. It will boost it up a little bit. He will help the match out a little bit. But also, we just don't have to worry about it, right? We don't have to worry about hiring a referee or wondering if they're good. Our boy Pee Wee Moore here has grown with the company. Three Ropes Wrestling is his first start in the business. So he doesn't need any fundamentals or physicals. He doesn't need any primaries or mentals. He doesn't even need a performance. Maybe acting, and he does that pretty good. A microphone, not really, unless he's relaying some information, which will not happen, I don't think, ever. And his charisma is good because in the middle of the ring, you want a good official that looks the part and brings professionalism to your promotion. That is what I think, even at 16, Pee Wee Moore will do for us. All right, moving on. Reno Riggins. Riggins appeared in WWF and WCW TV. I think even back as far as our save game day of January 92. He's got good basics. He's got okay fundamentals across the board. It's his primary skills that are really concerning me. He's been in the business for 3 years and I see zeros. I've got an 18 for technical. I've got an 11 for psychology, but other than that, I really don't have much for Reno. It's a low floor, but a decent potential. His primary skills are in need, like I said, of improvement, but if he can do that, he's 24, he's still young. He's old for Three Ropes Wrestling, but that is young everywhere else, I think, as we have a 16-year-old ref, a couple 17, 18, and 19-year-olds. Not too many people above the age of 20. Riggins is the experienced veteran here on roster, as he's been here 3 years, but it doesn't really show, and I really need it to in order to consider pushing him further up the card. All right, Rick Fuller. Fuller is a regional powerhouse, a brawling type. Got good fundamentals. He's got a high ceiling, as you see all the 80s, 90s, even 100s down here. He's 22, 6'5", 287, so he is an intimidating force. He is someone that you notice when he walks into a building with a lot of people, especially in an indie wrestling setting, because a lot of people are, sitting on the floor, so they're already smaller, but the venue itself is smaller, making him appear a little bit bigger, if that makes any sense. He has good brawling skills, psychology, decent star power, or star quality, I should say. He is a menacing type. I don't know. I mean, I know Rick Fuller's got a really good future here in Three Ropes Wrestling. He is a 2-year veteran, so that would put him farther ahead than a lot of our roster, as I was saying. So, and he's been in the bigger time, albeit in a jobber capacity, mostly in WCW and WWF, definitely a jobber. Both companies gave him experience. I think Rick Fuller is going to be somebody that has a bright future here. All right, we're going to go to Shane Helms now. Helms is a 17-year-old, rookie year, 5'11", 216. He's a good high flyer. He's also a good worker. As you see, the 55 in athleticism, which will bring up, of course, the stamina. The safety is there. The consistency is there. The selling is there, which is good for a 17-year-old. You're seeing good fundamental, and you're seeing good physical traits and skills in a young wrestler that can still learn quite a bit. Obviously, you see him with the technical, aerial, and flashiness. So Shane Helms is somebody that, yes, he's young, he's 17. We are going to protect him quite a bit, and we are going to try to develop him. I don't know right from the start if we're able to do that, but we're able to over the course of this save game. We're going to try to develop him a little bit, and he could be a breakout star here, only because, again, 17, look at those fundamentals and physical skills. Look at the psychology, which can go up a little bit, but the flashiness, the aerial, the tech, and the star quality is already 56. Did I mention he's 17? pretty good. All right, Stevie Wonderful is not 17. He is 31 years old. He is 1 year into the business. His claim to fame in real life is he is the first announcer of Extreme Championship Wrestling. To me, he's annoying, honestly. I watch old ECW wrestling, and it's very annoying to watch him on the show. I don't need him for television. I just need him for another backstage hand. He does do decent ring announcing. His experience, 100. His psychology is only 26, but remember that we have a bunch of 16, 17, 18-year-old wrestlers. We've got no popularity whatsoever. I just need somebody to be okay at Road Agency. I don't need him to even be great. I just need him to be okay. I think that's what he's going to give us, but I don't ever see us putting him on television in an announcer or a commentator type role like he was in ECW. And last but finally not least, we have Troy Mess. Troy is in his rookie year, 6'1", 223. Decent in-ring skills. He is the other half of the Intimidators with his kayfabe brother, Mean Mark Mest. He is the worker of the two team. Mest is the intimidating force, does the big moves with a lot of dominance and stuff like that. Mest is going to be in the ring a lot. He's got a stamina of 21, much higher than his brother Mark. But yeah, he's got okay microphone skills, so he is the one who largely talks for the group. But like I said, he's the worker of the Intimidators. They are a tag team in Three Ropes Wrestling, so they might be able to get to a higher level, but we'll see. It's going to be based on if his brother can improve and if Troy can continue to work like he has been. So we'll see. He's still young, so I think at 21 he's still able to go out and give a lot in each match. So this could be a good thing for them. They just have to improve, and we'll see how high they can go here at Three Ropes Wrestling. All right, so that was the roster. What I think I'm going to do now is book the show, come back, present the show. Then after the show, I'll present the show for you. You can take it in as a fan, and then after the show, we'll have a little bit of a booking meeting, and we'll talk about what I was thinking. Okay, and then we'll go over some news, and we'll get out of here for this episode. But that's pretty much what we're going to do here on each episode of Three Ropes Wrestling. So let me go book the show, and I will come back with the first ever Three Ropes Wrestling live event. Alright, so here we are, first ever show for Three Ropes Wrestling, Ground Floor, appropriately named. And we are coming to you live from the tri-state area. This is a little bit more of a stripped down show than it usually will be around here. I hope to do some previews and things like that so that when new people come into the stream, they will be able to follow along as well. But here we are, Ground Floor, and we are going to start the show. All right, and we lead off 3RW Ground Floor being held in front of 52 people at the tri-state area. That's as specific as we got at the tri-state area because we really don't have a crowd at all established, so I don't know how many people. I mean, it said expected, but there were no venues that were really that small, so we just went with a generic tri-state area. 52 people are in attendance. In about had decent wrestling, non-existent crowd heat. So Black Dragon's going to beat Reno Riggins here in 14:58. That's a little long for a opener, that is for sure. I will be the first to admit that. The crowd rating a 2, the segment rating a 23, not awful. Anything over a 10 is going to be a good thing for us, really, at this stage in the game. So we're going to accept that. I put Black Dragon on here and Reno Riggins just because I thought it might be a good match, or at least an okay match. Black Dragon is a gimmicky wrestler, so we decided that we would have him open up, and this is our first match ever in company history. David Marquez did not do a good job. But yeah, Black Dragon gets a 37, Reno Riggins a 26, and we will move on. Also, before we do, this show is a little long. It's an hour and a half. Usually we're going to book for an hour. I actually just made a goof when I was doing the booking. I had it as 90 minutes and not 60, but all shows will probably be about 60 minutes. That way we don't have to use a lot of workers and spend a lot of money. Okay, promise, moving on. All right. In this match, Little Heat, Taylor and Storm, Chaz Taylor and Devin Storm, defeated the Intimidators, which is Mark Mest and Troy Mest, in 10 minutes, with Chaz Taylor pinning Mark Mest with the Chazinator. In terms of in-ring work, Taylor was heading above the rest. He got a rating of 37. Devin Storm got a rating of 28. And then both Mest brothers did not do that well. Mark Mest had limited involvement. That was for me, only because it was a longer match. I'm trying to fill an extra half hour on with this show. So I made all of the matches a little longer than I would normally. This probably went 2 minutes longer, as Mark Mest is not great with stamina. Let's just say it that way to be nice. But yeah, Troy and Mark need to improve. That's for sure. Chaz Taylor and Devin Storm, I want them to be a tag team. I'm hoping that they will be able to gel as one. So we're going to see. But right now they are face and the Intimidators heel. So faces go over again here. We're trying to create just kind of an attitude or an environment where people are happy this show. Want to introduce them to our talent, but also at the same time leave them feeling in a pretty good mood. Rating of 19, not great. Crowd rating of 4, not great at all. But you know, it's our first show and it's higher than a 10. All right, the next thing saw a 7-minute interview. Again, we're going a little long, with Shane Helms cutting a promo. He basically just talks about Jimmy Jannetty. They are going to wrestle tonight. So it's just kind of a simple promo talking to Jimmy about tonight's match and how he's going to win, that kind of thing. He got an 18 rating, not great at all, but at the same time, again, higher than a 10. So we're going to let these guys develop as long as higher than a 10 is the bar. We can let them develop here at 3 ropes and see how they come along in the next couple of months. But yeah, moving on. Jimmy Jannetty and Shane Helms will take... so this is an indie wrestling show. So Shane Helms was in the middle of the ring giving that speech, that promo. Jimmy Jannetty comes down. They have a match, and they barely have a good match. Jimmy Jannetty had a 24. Helms had a 17, which is not good. We're going to need to improve that quite a bit. But either way, Jimmy Jannetty got a rating of poor for his old school heel, so we're going to have to work on that and his character as well. But the bout did drag. Stevie Wonderful, who did all the road agency work tonight, except for the Marquez one earlier in the show, I believe. Stevie Wonderful could have done better. And everybody could have, with a rating of 15. Again, it's above 10. We're going to take it, but oof. All right, moving on. Ace Steel defeats Axel Rotten in 14-21. Ace Steel got a 25, Rotten a 33. Both debuted with an adequate gimmick. So, look, this is nothing to be sad about. The crowd rating, not hot. This is the first time that this company has ever put on a show, so it's going to take a minute to get momentum, as we have none coming in. But Ace Steel and Axel Rotten put on a good show. A 25 rating is pretty good, and it'll get the crowd hot at the end. Now, Lance Storm defeats Rick Fuller in our main event with the Canadian Maple Leaf. Storm got a 41, Fuller a 27. Both are our top people on their side of the alignment, right? So Storm is the best heel, or the best face. Fuller is the best heel. Rating of 28. We have a story coming along with them, with these two, that will be showing up in just a couple seconds. Actually, we could just get to that. And it will show Rick Fuller attacking Lance Storm at the end with a chair. Really focuses on one specific leg, and Lance Storm is in an incredible amount of pain as the end of this show comes to a close. Lance Storm in the ring getting pummeled until Ace Steel comes down, runs down. Crowd immediately knows that he is the face, where he is helping out Lance Storm. So we're getting Storm over as our baby face, we're getting Fuller over as our heel, and we're getting Steel over as somebody who belongs in this conversation. So by association, he will kind of get a perception rating of upper mid card to main event level, which is where we want him anyway. So just associating with these two will help fans understand that that's how that's going to go. But that is how it ends. Rick Fuller runs out of the ring. He just looked down at Fuller, and he's right before going into the curtain. Just a huge smirk on his face, arms up in the air, and the crowd just chorus of boos towards Fuller, as Fuller is definitely our top baby face, and we leave the crowd very hot with the last segment. The overall show did appear to increase our popularity in one region, the tri-state area. That's all we care about. The overall rating, 23, and all of our broadcast things are going to be bad right now. All of these guys are $20, except I think Lance Storm was $50, and I think I think that might be the only thing, is Lance Storm was $50, and everybody else was $20. Rick Fuller might have been $30, although I do think Fuller was still $20. Either way, this is decent scores. The three that need, Shane Helms and Jimmy Jannetty, Shane Helms in-ring promo, and the Chaz Taylor and Devin Storm in the Intimidators match. More for the Intimidators, which is good because we want to try to get Taylor and Storm over. So that is what we're going to be doing. Shane Helms does need to get better. Okay, he had a bad promo and he had a bad match, so we are going to have to be patient with him because he is a very young kid. Don't want to get too hard on him, or he's going to get, he's going to lose his confidence. So we just sit back, we watch, we will let him work a couple of wrestlers, and we see a couple different wrestlers, and we see what he can do and what he can pick up in the next couple months. We give him a little bit of a leash, but either way, he does have to improve. That is Three Ropes Wrestling Ground Floor. That is the first episode of Three Ropes Wrestling. This is the first video that I've ever made on this channel, so I thank you for hanging out and watching with me. And next video will be a little bit more involved, I hope. I'm going to try to make every video a little bit better and a little bit better until, maybe I have to stop with that so that I can continue getting videos out. But I'll try to do some video work in the next one, things like that. Try to go over news, and I just want to make this save game more inclusive so that you can see the world around us as well as the company. But we'll work on that next time, guys. Thank you so much for hanging out. Hit the subscribe if you're still watching. Hit the like button. Really helps the channel. I'll see you in the next one.